My name is Jessica Reichert. My husband Dennis and I have 2 children. Logan, who is almost 8, and Abby, who's almost 4. Both of whom are students here now.
Okay, and how did you hear about the school?
Logan, at about 3.5, started in on us. He seriously wanted to go to karate. We called around, checked a bunch of schools out. Nobody would take him until he turned 4. So during that 6 months or so, we toured a bunch of the schools in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the one that was the fit.
Well, how was it? I mean, what turned you off at the other schools? I mean, what was it?
We went into one place that was very drill sergeant-y.
Mm.
Lots of screaming, lots of this guy barking at these little kids, and that wasn't what Logan needed nor what we wanted for him. We went into another school where we watched several hours worth of calisthenics, which also wasn't what we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
We came in here, Logan was met by one of the instructors, and it was an instant connection.
Okay, great. So what would you say the big reason that you guys as his parents wanted him to train?
Logan's an incredibly bright kid. He's also a very passive kid. He was in preschool, and we got told that he was a doormat, because if a child wanted a toy, they took it, and Logan found something else. He was in a daycare setting, and I was so proud of him. All the little kids were sitting in a circle, and when I looked closer, I realized that all the little kids that were sitting in the circle were facing in, and Logan was facing out. So he was kind of socially inept.
Gotcha. So, given that that's kind of how he was, how do you think he fit in with the classes here? And it was, kind of the structure of the class and what his experience was like.
I really expected him to run off the mat the first day, and he absolutely did not. The instructors made him feel very welcome. They really took him in and showed him how he needed to do things and what he needed to do, and he just thrived.
Great. So, why don't we take a little bit about, him being bullied and kind of that situation. What was going on around him being bullied? What did it look like? When did you notice it?
There was one little boy in particular that he was in preschool with, and at the time Logan was probably 3.5. And the little boy would push him and take his toys every day. And Logan would never stand up to the kid. He would walk away. He'd come home. I don't want to go to school anymore. Please don't make me go. Please don't make me go. And, we met with the teachers and tried to work it out that way. And Logan was he has no desire to fight.
Mm-hmm.
He would give up anything that he had to avoid any kind of confrontation.
Mm-hmm. So how would you characterize the school's response?
That school really just they informed us and then moved on.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't their place
so they didn't have anything in place.
Encourage Logan to stand up for himself.
Okay. So how did he feel about it when you talked to him about the whole
He wouldn't talk to us about it.
He wouldn't talk to you?
No, he wouldn't tell us anything that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
We would ask him, so what happened with this little kid today? And nothing.
Why do you think that he wouldn't tell you?
I don't think he knew how to handle it. I don't think that he didn't want it to be an issue, and I don't know if he was aware that he didn't want us to fight his fights.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it was just non-confrontational.
Mm-hmm.
Not telling us it didn't exist.
Was he embarrassed or afraid to talk to you guys about it? Or
I wouldn't say afraid, or I would hope he's not embarrassed, but really I think that it would have just brought it to light more, and he didn't want to deal with it.
Gotcha. So now we're years later, obviously he's been training for a while. I mean, what kind of changes have you seen in the way he deals with this bullying, or just in general?
I gotta tell you my favorite story of all time. Logan starts kindergarten. Day 2, our babysitter takes him to kindergarten. The little boy that bullied him in preschool landed in his kindergarten class. So Logan at that point had been training for over a year. The little boy goes to push Logan, and Logan stepped back, looked the kid square in the eye, blocked the push, and put his hand down, and the kid turned around and walked away from him. So right there, that was huge success.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about the fact that he actually had to use? I mean, he was confident enough to defend himself, but the fact that he actually had to physically defend himself. I mean, as a parent, how do you look at those abilities and the fact that he had to use that?
We were totally proud of him. Everything that he came home that day, and we got the call from the babysitter that said, "Hey, this is what went down." And we told Logan when he got home that, "Way to go, stand up for you."
Mm-hmm.
And we're still to this day we back him up. If he has to defend himself, we expect that he can and will.
Mm-hmm. Great. So that's pretty amazing.
That's my favorite story of him.
So I mean, how would you look at how Logan's changed since he started training here?
Logan carries himself, and he's not the meek, mild little boy that he was. And I'm sure part of it is that he's 4 years older now than he was. But a lot of it, too, is that he knows that if push comes to shove, he can hold his own.
Mm-hmm.
We tested his abilities because we're like, okay, we're forking out some money for karate. Are we seeing results? I had a guy that Logan doesn't know come up behind him and grab him, unbeknownst to Logan, and Logan dropped the man to the earth. And I don't really want Logan to ever have to be in that position, but I do know that Logan can drop a 6'4" man to the earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be a good feeling.
And my friend won't do that again. He didn't like the outcome.
Okay. So, what do you value most about this school, being in this school?
Okay, gonna sound like I'm going for suck-up points. Everything. We've always said, the whole, it takes a village to raise a child. This is our village. Mm-hmm. From all the other parents to all the instructors, this is the village we've chosen to have raise our children.
So what would you say to somebody who was thinking about looking for a martial arts school for their kid?
The same thing I always say to them. There's cheaper martial arts school in town, but you're going to get what you pay for, and nothing is ever going to come close to this.